Everyone, Christian here, and I wanted to do a new vlog with actual palms in it. So here we are. We are at the corner of Northeast 23rd Street in Del Prado, which is a pretty busy well, the intersection's not busy, but this road is, and once in a while the cars will come by and it'll be a little bit hard to hear. I may stop the video or stop talking for a few seconds as they come by. But I had noticed this planting maybe 2 to 4 weeks ago, maybe longer, and I knew that this was a good area to go ahead and do a vlog in. I wanted to do it. It's not really near where I live, but sometimes you got to drive someplace to get some decent vlogs. So we have a full planting here of probably, let's see, 2, 4, 6, looks like 8 Pseudophoenix sargentii here on this side of the road, and on the other side of 23rd Street there's another 6 or 4 over here, I believe. So there are, I believe that these are all fat boys, the Pseudophoenix sargentii variation fat boy, because I believe they were donated by a certain private individual that lives in Cape Coral, and they only grow fat boy varieties. They have been, I'm not going to name them by name, but they have been kind of an anchor of Cape Coral gardening for over 40 years. And so these are really nice specimens. They have a nice fat base to them, and their crown shafts, all these look very healthy. And I think that they were all donated as small plants, grown up by the city, and then eventually planted out when they were ready to go. These are probably planted from 15 to 25 gallon pots. So they have some silvery color to them. This one's a little bit greener, but you can see the silver petioles there. They all sort of have the same amount of coloring, some silver, some white, but they all have that same look to them. Now this one's a little bit different. If you look at it, the leaflets are not nearly as upright, and this almost looks like a royal. It has a distichous growth pattern, which looks almost like Pseudophoenix vinifera, but it is not a vinifera. It is a sargentii. It's a varietal difference within the species, and you'll see this. This happens also a lot with butea and Syagris. You will see, for example, buteas or pindos growing with some with more upright leaflets, some with more laid-back leaflets, more tropical looking, as well as stuff like queens, in the Syagris genus. So you can see that there's 8 of them here. Go up, use the magic of the vlog stick, and see all of them from one point. And hopefully these will all grow up. They were planted properly. They're not planted too close to the ditch. This looks like it's well draining soil. They did mulch it, which is okay. It's not required for these palms, but it's probably good for their establishment. Now if this mulch goes away, it's not a big deal. They do have irrigation on it, which is a good idea during the off months where it is still hot, which is going to be late or early to mid-spring and mid to late fall. So you'll see that also there are a couple of these that are actually in flower, and they are trying to set seed. Usually these don't set seed until they get a little bit bigger, although I have seen viable seed on palms of this size. You can see there's actually a bunch of ants there too, but that's going to happen. We'll see if they actually set seed. I would believe that it might set a few dozen viable seed at the most this time around. It's probably the first time it's set seed. You can see the spathe right there, and the inflorescence. It's not the only one. I believe there are 3 trying to set. This is the second one. You can see a new spathe is coming out. Usually sargentii will flower and start setting seed this time of year, and it will be good or even earlier than this, and it will be good it will ripen sometime in the winter, early winter. I've seen it I've seen them flower all year round too. It's kind of odd when you take a palm out of its natural habitat, even a few hundred miles, it can change it quite a bit. And I've noticed that palms will set seed earlier in Miami a lot of the time than they will even here, and I think that's just due to the amount of heat that's involved over there. I mean, there's more heat during the winter, there's more warmth, it doesn't get as cold at night, and it is just a generally more natural habitat for these palms. The limestone is there, There really isn't a limestone soil that exists here in Cape Coral or in Lee County. There's some limestone areas near the water, but you have to be pretty close to the water to really get that. Although these do like growing close to the water. We are about 15 miles from the open Gulf. So, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, we're on a main road. So when you drive by, these definitely stand out. You have royals, you have foxtails, neither of which are looking too great at the moment. Hopefully they'll grow out of that. But then all of a sudden you see this little workout area, and there are new palms, and I'm sure these stand out. I assume that people driving by will just think that these are bottles if they have some inkling about palms and like, oh yeah, that's a bottle palm, it's a hyophorbe. They're not gonna actually say that. They're just gonna know, okay, they're just going to say, okay, they planted some bottles out here and kind of leave it at that. But they're not bottles. I don't want to say they're not closely related, but they're not very close relations, I guess you should say. So hopefully, let's see. I'm gonna actually check and just see what exactly this park is. It says Fort Myers Schwinn. Oh, sponsored by Fort Myers Schwinn. Okay. It doesn't say what this is, except for just a little workout area. You can sit down. I don't know if you can do like some sort of weird exercises on the bars, but they're there and they're open. But this is probably the most typical looking sargentii. You can see the crown, and it kind of has all these kind of V hatches. Where the petiole is the petiole bases are very tight to the crown, and it's a short crown shaft itself, is not that large, versus if we're talking a few inches, versus any of these royals are going to be several feet. So trying to think of anything else I should point out. I hope that these should do well here, and I hope that they will, in 5 to 10 years time, really stand out over here, because there isn't a lot. You can see this is kind of just an open area. There isn't a lot of foliage, for lack of a better term. There isn't a lot of landscaping. This is not an old area, but hopefully these will beautify the area, and I hope that the city does this more often. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry, I thought the guy was stopping for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and want to see more palm related videos, go ahead and consider subscribing. If you have any questions about Pseudophoenix sargentii, planting it out, other plantings that you might see in Florida, leave a comment down below and I will get back to everyone as soon as possible. And I do realize that I have not responded to comments in the past few weeks. I apologize for that. I hope that I will change my behavior. So until then, I hope everyone enjoyed the video and have a good day.